know, when I thought about the season, I didn't know I was going to do so many comedies. And yet, it seems like, I don't know, we're all in pretty good moods. And so maybe a comedy would be a good idea. And if we're not in such a good mood, a comedy is helpful. But we're going to do 3 wonderful Shakespeare plays, and 2 of which we haven't done in a very long time. And then, you know, Goldoni is a playwright from Italy that almost nobody knows. And then here we are with another great adaptation by David Ives of a French classic. So I think we're all going to have a wonderful time together. One of the most wonderful experiences I've had of many, many experiences I've had here at the Shakespeare Theatre over 25 years was the opportunity to work with David Ives on his adaptation of The Liar. And when that was over, I asked him if he would like to do another adaptation of another French play by a writer of the same period, Jean-François Regnard, who Molière says taught him a lot about comedy. And there was a play called La Legatee Universitaire that I sent to David, and he fell in love with it. And I've just received the first draft of that version, and it's hilarious. So that will be a world premiere of David's adaptation, and I'm so looking forward to continuing my collaboration with him. He's a wonderful writer, he's immensely inventive, and he is a splendid person to go into rehearsal with and fix things and change things. And every once in a while it's very nice to have a live writer together in the room. And I think we're going to have a wonderful time, and I'm pretty sure that the audience will too. I think Much Ado About Nothing will also be a wonderful show to do during the holidays. It's, you know, tremendously funny, and it's got a wonderful relationship that I think, you know, sort of sparring relationship that I think both families and young people will enjoy together. It's got everything in it. It's got drama, and it's got comedy, and it's got challenges and a little bit of duels. But it's also, Twelfth Night and Much Ado About Nothing are the 2 greatest comedies of the Elizabethan period, and both of them have been the most influential comedies in the English language. The Battle of the Sexes comes from these plays, and you can stand still is going on is one of the major themes of films and television today. And this is a great, great fun play, and I think will allow us all to celebrate a very happy New Year. I'm also pleased because you know, one of the things that's been wonderful for me here over this 25 years is helping mentor young directors. And I'm very pleased that all of the assistants and associates I've had are almost all running theaters all over the country. And so, although this is not his first directing assignment here, I'm very pleased that it's going to bring Ethan McSweeney back to the theater, where he really started as an assistant to be the director of Much Ado About Nothing. Two Gentlemen of Verona is a play that's not done very often. We've only done it once in the 25 years, and that was a lovely production that Doug Wager did about 12 years ago. So I wanted to do it again, and in thinking about, as part of the 25th anniversary celebration, to bring back some of the former associate directors, having remembered P.J. Paparelli's production at the Folger, after he left us, of Romeo and Juliet, which he made such a play about teenagers and had such a great success, I thought he'd be the perfect person to direct this comedy, which has some drama in it and is really about young people falling in love with too many people at the same time. And so PJ, who runs a theater in Chicago, will be returning to do his first major production at the Shakespeare Theatre Company. I'm really excited about next season because I get a chance to do a couple of things that I've thought about doing for a long time, and also working with some artists that I've actually collaborated with, in which I've had, you know, wonderful experiences with. It's the 25th anniversary season, so I thought, along with a lot of other things, I would give myself a 25th anniversary present by doing a play that I've actually wanted to do for about 25 years, and that's Eugene O'Neill's Strange Interlude. It's, I think O'Neill, along with Tennessee Williams and Arthur Miller, of course, the great American playwrights, and I've been in love with this play since mainly about 3 decades now. And I've always thought about doing it at the Shakespeare Theater. Now seems the perfect time. And it's a play that changed the American theater because it was an extraordinarily innovative technique that O'Neill used, which was to have the characters talk and then again talk all their thoughts. And it's an extraordinary psychological study of a woman and 3 men, and has incredible parts for wonderful actors. And so I'm particularly excited about getting a chance finally to do that play. Strange Interlude is famous for being one of the longest plays in the American theater. Matter of fact, you used to go for a dinner break, but no. As I did with Morning Becomes Electra, which I also had a wonderful time doing, and which I did down here, I've been given the rights to edit it, and I have actually done that. And so I think it will be a little longer than a regular play, but it will be a lovely interlude and not a long interlude. Goldoni is along with Pirandello, the 2 most famous playwrights in the Italian theater. Goldoni is very close to me because Goldoni came from Venice, and I love to be in Venice. And The Servant of Two Masters takes place in Venice. And I've always wanted to do it. It requires an extraordinary character to play Arlecchino, and it also requires a wonderful director. And I've always wanted to work with Chris Bays, who is the master clown teacher of the United States of America and has been with a company of Théâtre de la Jeune Lune, which was an extraordinary physical theater company in Minneapolis. And Chris has done a production of Servant of Two Masters for Yale Rep, and so I was very eager to ask him to join us in doing that particular production, and I'm very pleased that he's going to. We've done 2 productions of Merry Wives of Windsor since I've been at the theater. The first one, of course, was the one I did with Pat Carroll as Falstaff, a woman playing Falstaff, and as a man, and that attracted a lot of attention. And then the second production of Merry Wives was directed by Daniel Fish, who had been the assistant director of the theater for a few years, and then this was his first production on the main stage. It was a wonderful production, which he set in the Catskills, and Falstaff and his friends were nightclub entertainers, and I remember the Hearns Oak scene took place in a drive-in movie theater. This time, I've asked a wonderful director who's been an associate director at the RSC for many years, and who last year had a great success here in Washington doing the revival of Sabrina Fair at the Ford's Theater, to direct. His name is Stephen Rayne, and he has a pretty wonderful idea of setting this in the 30s in a small town in England, and I know that it'll be imaginative and fun and beautifully thought through production, because he's a tremendous interesting director I've been very eager to have here for several years.